Happy hump day.
It is already. What is happening? We're already the second week of March.
Well, I think because you and I have stopped concerning ourselves about living for the weekend.
Yeah.
And when you don't have to live for the weekend, it changes your perspective because every day is a day of fun, productivity, problem solving. And then we take a break in the afternoon, or we don't work in the evening, or it's like a different lifestyle. Are you finding that now that you've moved over into entrepreneurship?
Now that you say that, absolutely. I never thought of it before, but it is like, well, if I have free time now, I can have free time now. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter what time it is. You're absolutely right. It doesn't matter what time it is. It's, I've got, an hour here, an hour there. Yeah, absolutely. It's
because you
crazy.
know, you know we're working Sundays now and we're working Saturdays and whenever
We work
what
whenever.
I've learned is that crises does not take a vacation,
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. And that's the beauty of working for yourself is you create that time. You create those hours. You
Mhm.
create your schedule. And we just, we roll with it. I never even thought about that until you said that. No living for the weekend where it's like, oh my God, when's my days off?
Right? Or dreading Mondays,
Yeah. Oh,
right? We have
Mondays are
such fun
so much
Mondays.
fun. We do.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yes. And we've
Yeah.
had a lot of people say that. Like, they look forward to our gatherings on Monday because they just love that start to the week. So it's
Yes, that's
perfect.
right. That's
Yeah.
right.
What are we
So
talking about?
today, well, what
Oh,
we're going to talk about today, I'd like to talk about my show tomorrow. I'm doing a show,
oh, yes.
and I've invited a friend of mine, Don Stuckey, from Edmonton here, and he's going to co-host with me tomorrow. And he loves broadcasting, and I wanted to have him on the show. But we're actually going to talk about ooh taboo. We're going to talk about suicide, and because Don has personal experience with that, I have personal experience with that, and also coming up publication number
Mm,
3. I'm going to put it up here because we're
yes.
going to be talking about this. My next publication, 21 workshops under one cover. We're not calling it suicide prevention. I am so sick of those words
Mm,
because it's not being prevented. It's on a rise. It's like the next pandemic. We're losing so many young people.
yeah.
So, whatever we're doing out there to prevent suicide, in my mind, Virginia, is not working. What are
Mhm.
your thoughts?
You're absolutely right, Dr. Laurie. We touched on this the other day. You open up a social media or a news or anything like that, and someone else has taken their life, or it's heartbreaking. It really is. And the beautiful thing about um, naming it "Staying Alive," because that's the whole point, right? That's the whole
Right.
point. Is about staying alive. And it takes away that stigma that we talk about when people say, oh, suicide prevention.
Mhm.
uh,
Mhm.
it takes away that stigma and rewords it so people, who doesn't want to stay alive, right? Deep
Well, there's
down, deep down,
obviously there's a lot that don't
uh,
want to stay alive, right? But in their heart of hearts, they do,
they do. They
right?
just don't they just don't feel like there's any other way. And the beautiful thing about self-worth products, services, workshops, whatever you want to call it, is there is another way. There is an
Oh yeah.
alternative
Hmm.
way of care, of mental health, of personal and professional development, anything. There is another way to do it, to take those workshops and do the workbooks. I'm so excited for this workbook. So excited for this coming
Oh
work.
well, I have had a suicide prevention product for many
Yeah.
years now, but the thing is, actually, I piloted it with 2 social workers and a teacher, my sister actually, who was a teacher. And one of the social workers said, I took a day and I had them to my home and I presented the materials. And one of them said to me, Laurie, I have attended 103 suicide prevention workshops in my career. I'm going, what? But she said, none of them have this information that you've prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Okie dokie. So recently, of course, since COVID, that whole mental health trajectory from COVID has been on the rise, on the rise, on the rise. We haven't even reached the peak of it yet, but pretty soon. And it has taken, it's not COVID that took the lives, all of them, right? So, and our young people have absolutely zero coping skills. That's what I'm discovering. It's just like really heartbreaking, like you said. So, we're going to do something about it.
Good.
And I thought my next publication will be suicide prevention, but not really in those words. I'm tired of hearing them because it's not working. So if something's not broken, don't fix it. But if it's broken, we need to fix it. So
Absolutely.
hopefully this will be a step in the right direction. Do I have all the answers? No. Do I have a lot of the good answers? Yes. So here we go. Here's a picture of the cover that you had everything to do with. Look at that. I love it. Let's see. From the darkness to the light.
That was my goal.
The darkness on the outside to the light in the middle.
Yeah.
Boom. And we need to show our children how to stay alive. I have personal experience. I lost my first husband. He not only tried to take his life twice in a week, he ultimately disappeared. 2026 marks the 40th anniversary. And I'm going to dedicate this book to him in memory of him, because that's the seed that planted the work that we do today. Yeah. There was nowhere to go for help. Well, from what I'm understanding, there's still nowhere to go for help. What do you know about that? People are waiting.
Yes, I have heard that the wait time is crazy. Even if you phone in, the wait time is crazy to talk to someone. And that's not right. That's not right. It's, again, the system is failing us, and we have a system that doesn't. It doesn't fail. If you put in the work, or, when we put in the work and we put in the effort to heal ourselves, you won't fail.
That's right.
Because you realize.
I'm sorry.
No, you just realize that once your self-worth is intact, or once you realize, hey, I'm worthy, you'll never want to lose that again.
No. Yeah. The other thing is the wait time. By the time you get the help, maybe that gives me time to go and take my life during the waiting time. And I'm really scared of that. I'm really, really scared for that. And we had a situation probably 2 or 3 years ago when a soldier came home from a tour, and he knew that day he was going to do something really bad. So he went to the hospital, and he sat in the hospital waiting room all day. Because if you're not bleeding, or you don't have a broken arm, or this is about not recognizing how unwell people can be. And at 4 o'clock, they told him to go home and come back the next day, because they were out of the psychiatrist had just left or whatever. And he went home and he killed his wife, his daughter, his wife's mother, and himself. Now, I also learned today that Canada is the only country in the G Summit that does not release the statistics as it relates to how many veterans are taking their lives right now.
Wow.
So based on that, we had a brainwave. What are we doing Virginia, on the 19th of April. You want to share that?
Yes, yes, absolutely. We are going to put together an event called Staying Alive.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a veteran or if you are a first responder, RCMP, any of those groups of people, please, 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 please reach out. We will have a flyer up shortly, sharing on social medias. It will be a live event on Zoom, so you don't even have to get in your car and drive anywhere. And it's, you know, it's just so important. It's information. It's a bit of a workshop you're going to host for us, Dr. Laurie, and it's just going to be a great afternoon on a Sunday afternoon, 4 p.m. Mountain Time.
Mm-hmm.
We got the goods.
We sure do.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the other group that I want to reach out to, and that would be those of us who lost someone to suicide. So, because the grieving process in the aftermath is something else that doesn't get supported very well. What about the people who are left behind? So, let's say if a young person in your family took their own life, then you have the mom and the dad, perhaps, the mom, perhaps, the grandparents, the siblings, the aunties, the uncles, the aftermath. You know, Virginia, I don't tell this to very many people, but I'm going to be very open and loud about my story now. It's time to tell my story. You know, after my husband decided that he didn't want to be here any longer, I was in bed for a whole year. Can you picture me in bed for basically a whole year?
Yeah.
I only got out of bed to have lunch, have something to eat, which wasn't much, and go back to bed and wait for that phone to ring for something else to have gone wrong because he spent 2 years in an institution after he tried to take his life on twice in 1 week. So I know what that aftermath looked like for me. And someone said to me one time, "Boy, it's really great you didn't have any little kids." Well, you know, Virginia, if I'd had a couple of little kids, I would have had to get up in the morning and make breakfast and get them off to school. But I didn't have anybody to get up for. So I didn't. And I know that feeling. And it's hard. It's really hard. I never really thought about taking my own life, but I thought about why somebody would. And that was 40 years ago. So I've had 40 years to contemplate, research, think, experience. And I'm one of those people who managed to get on with their life. But I think I know a lot of it had to do because I was willing, like you said earlier, to do the work. We can and do and can heal ourselves.
So just one
So
question, Dr. Laurie.
Yeah.
Will certain things like that be in the book as well then?
Oh, yes.
Oh, excellent.
I'm going to start it off with my own story.
Perfect. I love it.
Absolutely. And then what did I do? And what can we do? And what can other people do? Because right now, what my fear, you know, my biggest fear is it's happening so often that now it's becoming normalized. Like it's okay, it's normalized. And then we have the funeral and that person gets so much attention. And I'm thinking, wow, if they'd had that kind of attention when they were alive, they might still be alive. I've seen so much of that.
Wow.
So we have to stop that thing right now because it's just so heartbreaking. And it leaves families devastated when parents know they've done their best and it still happens. So we need to pay attention. I also know that sexual abuse and suicide are linked.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to be talking about that. A lot of people haven't given that any thought because, as a sexual abuse survivor, which I am as well, your abuser threatens you. So imagine if you were a little girl and you're being sexually assaulted and he threatens you with, or she, if you tell anybody, I'll burn your house down or I'll kill your mother.
Right.
Well, no little kid wants to carry that. So, hey, best way out. You see, there's lots of reasons, but we have to stop the reasons and get those people behind bars where they belong.
Yes.
But if it's Uncle Bill and it's Auntie Mary, nobody wants to talk about it because it's in the family.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
One of those other taboo.
Oh, yeah. Money, sex, and suicide. We're not allowed to talk about that. Whoops. Our 15 minutes is up. So if you want to hear more, tune in tomorrow at 12 noon Mountain Time. And we'll be here with our show and our special guest, Don Stuckey, who will share some personal stuff with us too, because he's managed to survive all that. But yeah, it's going to be great. So just one more flash. Publication number 3 coming out in April. You can pre-order them. Just text me, call me, and I don't know. You know what I'd like to see? I'm going to put this out there right now.
Okay.
I would like to see this tool, 21 days, which is actually 21 self-directed workshops on how to stay alive, drop shipped in every community that needs that information. And there are a lot of them. So I'm not going to be shy about this because you know what? Children are dying every day unnecessarily.
Yeah.
I'm all over it. Now, you know, I can be all over something and I can be pretty passive, but when I'm passionate about something, look out, because I'll rattle some cages too. And I don't care if I rattle cages. All right. Anything else, Virginia, before we go? We went a little over time, but I think it was worthwhile. Right. And see you tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen.
Take care.
And please share,
comment.
Right. And comment. Okay, Virginia, hang in there.
Take care.
Bye-bye.